CMFK's laughing at over there because I got some stories about CMFK. I've known CMFK for years, man.
Okay.
CMFK, man, is my boy right here. But let me tell you something about this dude. He fucking has no idea about the real world, okay, and danger. This dude never locks his doors at night. If you want some free shit, go to CMFK's house. Just watch him for a few hours. Whenever you figure out his schedule, just walk into his house and steal all their shit.
Just don't get caught.
Why do you not lock your doors, CMFK?
Because you're either gonna you got 50% chance of making it in and out. So
what if they case your house first? What if they just know you're not there?
Well, I've got insurance. I pay a shitload of money for insurance.
But CMFK is pretty gullible. Let me tell you why. I go over to CMFK's house the other day and I see this weird looking dude hanging out in the back, and CMFK's like smoking a joint with this guy, and I'm like, okay, who's this guy, man? And the guy goes, hey man, my name's Peter. You want to buy some magazines? I was like, magazines?
Sounds shady.
Yeah, and I'm like, hey, CMFK, who is this guy? He's like, hey, man, this is my friend Peter. So I'm thinking this is CMFK's, like, friend from way back in the day.
It's really CJ.
CJ, okay. You were hanging out with some dude named CJ. I'm like, all right, CJ. I'm like, hey, are you CMFK's friend? He's like, you want to buy some magazines? I was like, no, man. So he goes, no, they're pretty good. He whips out, he pulls out of his pocket like a crumpled piece of paper that is a bunch of like magazine names. Like some of them are written down, some of them are printed. Like he's just added in magazine. There's no prices or anything. And I'm like, what's going on? He's like, oh man. So then I just chill for a little bit, and I'm thinking this guy looks almost homeless. What kind of friends is my boy hanging out with here? And so finally the guy's like, all right, man, well, CMFK, thanks, man. Thanks for the donation. Apparently CMFK bought $50 worth of magazines and donated it to the Veterans Association.
Yeah, the VA hospital. Man.
Yeah. So this guy leaves. I'm like,
they'll get those magazines.
I'm immediately freaking out. Like, who's this guy hanging out with? I'm like, hey, man, who the hell's this CJ character? He's like, oh, he just knocked on my door and offered to sell me magazines. So apparently CMFK, while the guy was talking about magazines, patted this guy down or something, found out he had weed on him, and is smoking the dude's weed.
That's pretty clever shit.
That's a talent right there.
That's pretty clever shit.
That's a
Let me ask you this. Did you sniff out his weed?
That sounds like a pretty good friend to me.
How did you find out this dude had weed, first of all?
He just asked me. We were just chilling out.
Y'all ever had magazine salesmen come over and ask you if you want to smoke some weed?
Man, I thought they were like reform thugs. You know, I thought they were like trying to get these kids off the street.
That's what he looked like. He looked like a homeless thug.
He was probably 18 to 20 or so.
And
wearing just regular clothes. He came up to me. This was his pickup line.
Soiled clothes.
This was his sales pitch. I figured it all out. I talked to him. I brought him in my house, smoked a little joint, talked about it, what the hell he was
smoked
doing,
his
where
cigarettes,
he was from, all that shit. So I got down to it. He rang my doorbell, and I've got one of those little camera doorbells, so I didn't hear it.
He probably that's
and
another
it's in my
thing.
room. It's in my room, right? So I didn't check it. I just went and answered the door, and he's like, "Hey man, what's up, man? I'm Justin. My parents, Jack and Jill, live down the street." Da, 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 da. And I'm like, "Jack and Jill, hey man, what's going on, dude?" Just got done smoking my own joint. And I'm like, hey, what's going on, dude? And then he starts out with some magazine sales stuff, pitch, something like that. And I'm just like, all right, well, so how much is this shit? Like, how much do you want? I don't have any money. I don't have any cash. I'm broke as a joke, trying to make rent, whatever I could tell him to try to get out of this payment I'm about to make. He sells it better than I can, keep it away.
What was Playgirl? How do you turn that down? Man?
What actually happened, the guy had been scouting out the place for a few weeks, was robbing CMFK's house, and he walked up on him and he said, "What are you doing in my house?" "Oh, I'm selling magazines."
No, so we're just hanging out. I tell him to come in the house because he's got like 10 minutes before his van picks him up. I guess picks up all the kids running around.
Oh, he's one of
selling
those
magazines and
salesmen
shit.
where they drop them off.
Yeah,
like,
they're reformed
eight
thugs.
at a time.
Door to door.
They're
man.
Sell
trying to-
magazines. If they're not home when you knock, fucking kick in the window.
They're
door
trying.
to door salesman.
Yeah, they're trying to like give these kids like a job and get them off the streets and
Exactly.
Yeah, and then you. So did he smoke your weed or did you smoke his
No.
weed?
So we're just sitting there talking about all that shit, and he's like, "You smoke?" I'm like, "Smoke what?" So smoke weed. And I'm like, "Hell yeah! Why? You want to smoke a bowl?" And he's like, "Yeah." So he reaches down in his pant leg, I guess in his sock, pulls out a cellophane full of, just some kind bud. And I'm like, "Oh shit!" He's like, "Do you have a pipe?" So I go get my pipe. Run outside.
That's when it takes shit right there.
That's it.
Come back, his whole freaking TV's missing.
Fucking snake. His snake's gone.
Where'd my snake go?
You know what?
So-
You did mention his doorbell that has a camera in it, so he can see what's going on outside. But he installed the doorbell at hip level, so when people ring the doorbell, you see the guys completely blocking the camera. All you see is like a dark shape.
He just wants a
moving.
dong shot, dude. Make sure it's good
Wants to know how
enough.
big the dong
So it's the
is.
worst doorbell. Like unless you know the guy's dong, you don't know who it is.
No.
I
It's
recognize
to make
those
sure there
pants
is no
anywhere.
dong.
Special package. Oh, this guy has jabos on.
So I can see what I woke up or came home with that night. I just ring the doorbell before I go in. It snaps a picture, so I can see her the next morning.
See your crotchal area. See your belly button.
So he's bought at this point when I get there, he's already bought $50 worth of magazines and donated them. And this guy is trying to make his rent for the month. He does a lot of shit where he just wastes money.
Yeah.
I don't. And Dr. Dan knows CMFK too.
Dizzle, dude, you remember that one story where that dude comes over to his house and tries to sell him what?
Freaking Windows.
That's right, Windows.
And we're not talking $99.99's Windows
Oh, no.
7. We're talking about freaking Windows for your house.
Oh yeah,
$30,000.
yeah. And CMFK, let's put this into context here. He actually already has Windows.
Yeah, his house has pretty nice windows. We're talking about like a 15-year-old house with like 7-year-old windows.
Yeah. So, CMFK, explain, first of all, let's just cut to the chase. How much were these windows, real quick?
26,000, only 26,000.
I'm sorry, I was off by 4,000.
I would have paid.
If you had
30.
told me
I would've-
$4,000 windows, I would have still told you you were a dumbass.
Yeah. So, how much were they?
26.
That's it?
That's it.
Let's go get some fucking windows. Just kidding, man.
So let me see. You were about to invest on something that's about 25% of the value of your house, or about 15% of the value of your
Probably
house,
10 to 15.
Yeah.
versus paying off your house. We need to have Spin, who's a financial expert here, have a little conversation with CMFK.
Yeah, so I just typed in a few little numbers here to my phone. It looks like you'd be getting about 4% a year, but you have roommates, so they're getting all the benefits or a third of the benefits. And then when you sell your house, your asset is not going to be worth 26. It's not going to add $26,000.
Well, see, that's what the salesman said to him, because I was there during this whole conversation. And if there's a salesman, and this was like a salesman in club clothes, okay, at 9:45 p.m. on Saturday night, waiting to go out. Only thing holding between was, holy shit, I found a fucking dumbass that might spend $26,000 on windows, which I get $15,000 in commission on. Is probably what he was thinking.
This guy was wearing the same $180 pair of boots that I wear, so he wasn't in thug clothes.
No, I didn't say thug clothes. I said club clothes.
Club.
That guy was waiting to go out that night. It was Saturday night at 9:45.
A lot of people go out in boots.
So he pockets $24,000. He goes to Home Depot, spends $2,000.
I love the sales pitch too. I was sitting through the whole thing, and CMFK was just lapping. At first, I thought CMFK was just like trying to figure out the cost of windows, right? Just trying to shop around and stuff. And this was the first guy that showed up to sell shit, right? And the guy pulls into a bag and he pulls out this like half brown piece of plastic, and he tells CMFK, "You know what this is?" CMFK is like, "Piece of plastic?" He goes, "This was a window that was buried in Arizona 38 years ago in the heat and the elements. It's been rained on. And this is what this window looks like today. The same it did 38. It's a piece of plastic. You ever heard about plastic in landfills? Those things last like thousands of years.
Yeah.
There's no way that company was in business 38 years ago.
He's
they
like,
thought to
this
bury
is-
it. We'll use this as marketing material 30 years
That's what
from
I was
now.
thinking.
They were
He's
in
like,
business
this is
107 years ago.
This guy remembers the whole sales pitch.
You still want them. If your credit was good enough, would you still get them?
Yeah.
You'd go.
Absolutely.
CMFK, what the hell are you thinking, dude?
Man, something's
They're
wrong.
good looking windows, man. For one, they're custom. For two, they block out 100%.
They're custom.
100%.
We got a custom square, the exact size of your old window, but it's custom.
So will any
the only
windows.
cool part about this entire story.
No window will do this. Block 100% of UV rays coming inside.
You know what
your
will do
house.
that?
Bullshit.
You know what will do that? Freaking $500
100%.
Oakleys.
Yeah.
Just wear Oakleys around your house. Problem
You'll be
solved.
fine.
And you're $26,500 richer.
God, you could pay down your loan. You could save. That'd probably be about $200 a month on your mortgage.
Yeah.
So
So I'm glad my credit didn't go through.
yeah. That's the end of the story.
Yeah.
Shit,
Yeah.
man.
So
Call me
I'm
before you
thinking-
do anything ever again to do with anything costing more than $100.
Oh, $1.
I'm just trying to give him a little bit of leeway.
We got to go dollar by dollar until he figures
He's
it
gonna
out.
go through and have $6,050 transactions to buy his window.
The guy's sitting there selling him on this window. I'm like, okay, I believe CMFK. Okay, he's just trying to get a price quote, and the guy's like, so you want them? Yes. So he goes out.
No. His sales pitch was, look, if you want these windows, you have to pay for them by the 22nd, and it was like the 20th.
That's like a hard line.
So
Like,
2
what
days.
window company requires you to pay for the windows by a certain
it's
date?
because you get the energy efficient
Free. Right?
Hold on. What do you get?
rebate.
What do you
get? The $1,500 rebate.
Only if you buy within 2 days.
Yes.
Oh,
my
because
God.
they
The
have to
rebate
be
from the city.
installed- Correct. They
You're
have
the
to
kinda
be
guy-
installed by a
Oh,
certain
then the
date
guy shows
in
them a
order to
picture of
receive the
wood,
rebate.
a picture of a piece of wood that was buried for 36 years, and you see this piece of
It's
wood.
terrible.
It's all wet and soggy, and it's got holes in there. I'm like, of course you buried a piece of wood. Your house is not buried
decomposes.
underground.
That's like those.
This
like,
was just a test facility. They
That's like
had-
those Franklin Mint things on TV where it's like, you can have this mint dollar for $5. And you're like, act now because they're going fast, 50 per customer. That's it? That's all I can get, 50?
shit, call it now.
You know what? I just thought of something. What
Yeah.
we should do, since we have the same house, I'm going to call this guy Renewal by Anderson. I probably shouldn't say their name, but I'm going to call them
ripped
the
off by
Windows
Anderson.
people, and have them give you the same estimate.
They're gonna look at him and be like, "This guy's not a dumbass." $18,000.
Because I know the price was inflated. I know that.
Well,
By
first
at
of all, whoa.
least
If he comes to my door,
20%.
I'm going to pat him down for drugs, first of all, like you did with the other guy. Invite him in. Hopefully he has some good shit. And maybe that quote will come down.
No, still paid $40 for the magazines.
Yeah. So
That you
List
didn't
price.
get.
do you still want these windows?
Yes,
How much would you pay for the windows?
20.
All right, guys. Well, we know what to do. Let's go.
Let's go get some windows.
Let's go buy some windows for 15.
That's right.
Flip
They're
them for
custom.
20.
They're custom.
We're going to spray him with Pam.
They're gonna. Yeah.
Dude,
These are
every single
rectangle.
piece of glass is custom. Every single piece of glass is custom with a custom number on it to where if it breaks,
So they get a piece
you
of
feel
glass.
heat through the window, you get to return it, and they'll send you that piece
I'm
of
sure
glass
you can
and
find that
install it.
sales guy again.
I just hate how overused this word is, custom. Custom.
It's custom.
I have a custom ball sack.
What windows are not custom? That's all I know. Every house has a different shaped window. Those windows are going to be custom, CMFK.
These were badass windows.
No, that was a badass sales guy.
Yeah. That,
He probably just showed up and was like, hey, I got something cool. Cool. I'll take it.
there's a list of gullible people running around. All these salesmen pick it up, and CMFK is number 1 on the list. and they all
If you
just show
have
up.
something and you say it's custom and you have to get a loan for it, CMFK will bite.
That's
Yeah.
right.
I'll help a brother out.
Just be glad your credit is bad. Why is your credit bad anyways?
I got a
it.
few guesses.
Why? How did you ruin your credit? Because you make a lot of money.
Clubs.
Man, it's those damn hotlines, sex hotlines.
Seriously though, I know you make a lot of money. So how are you ruining your credit?
No, I co-signed a buddy for a dirt bike 5 years ago, and tried to help my sister buy a house by co-signing for her house.
Oh, my God.
I see.
Defaulted, I guess it defaulted, and they saw that credit.
I see a trend
I
here.
don't know.
The word cosign.
Yeah.
I wouldn't cosign for my own mom. That is not something you do. You got to think about
I
this.
would.
It's a person that's credit is bad anyways. okay, they're willing to screw over a bank, which has a lot of repercussions they can have against that person. You have no repercussions that you can do on this person other than beat his ass.
Did your buddy pay off his bike?
He still owes $1,000, but I confiscated the bike, and it'll be up for Craigslist here pretty soon.
Didn't you say you were Craigslisting this about a year ago?
I'm not hurting for money yet.
You're hurting for credit, though.
Yes, I am.
He's hurting
If
for
you
win-
sell that bike,
No. I've got a plan. I'm going to sell the bike on Craigslist, call GE Money Bank, and tell them, hey, look, I'll pay y'all to withdraw the information that y'all sent to the credit bureaus.
and then
lot
he's
of-
going to
a
call
lot of
Windows
times you
by
can negotiate
Anderson.
with them
That's
on that amount.
Right.
You can do like 50% of the value.
Well, I did that already.
You get all the interest going too.
They owed $8,500 for it.
Oh my
right?
God.
But they've paid. They were people that just didn't know how to use credit. They would pay money whenever they had money. They paid up to $13,000 on a $10,000 loan, but GE Money Bank kept.
Let me ask you
giving
this.
putting the
Okay.
charges on there.
So they owed
Late
$10,000
charges.
on the bike, right?
Yes,
This is
So
a
how
dirt
much
bike?
did they pay off before they stopped paying?
they paid $13,000 for the bike total.
For a
But
dirt bike?
But you
Right.
still,
CMFK,
they still owed
dirt
$8
bikes.
grand.
and
A
this was in
single
06.
dirt bike.
Okay, this was in 06.
A single dirt bike. One dirt bike.
No.
$8,000 dirt bike.
I'm talking how much did they actually pay, not
Yeah.
how much did you co-sign. You co-signed for $13,000
I co-signed for 10.
for 10,
Dizzle.
and they paid 13, so they had 3 at their own pocket.
But since they didn't know how to use credit and they just sent money whenever they had money, $1,000 here, $500 here.
That's not calling. I don't know how
to.
to use credit. That's calling. I don't want to pay because you co-signed for me.
No.
Hey, dude, it was a custom
No,
bike.
they paid, and I never found out it was a custom dirt bike. Yet.
They had
But
this
they
fucking
were
thing,
paying,
man.
and they paid about $13,000. GE Money Bank was putting up to $800 service fees for the payment not being
We don't need the
paid.
details, man. You co-signed. That's all we need to know.
Yeah, no
I
more
got-
co-signing.
Stop co-signing.
Call me first before you do anything.
We know the
I'm
moment
done.
he sells that bike, he's gonna call Windows by Anderson, say, "I got $6,000. Will you still give me a loan for those windows?"
I would just like to buy
I'll pay
one window
30
right
now.
now.
As long as
I
it's
could have
custom.
done that.
Here's another thing
I wanted
about
them all though.
Here's another thing about CMFK. He ripped all the floors out of his house in every room, so he has like dirt, concrete,
With the
crack-
intentions of actually doing the floors one
Right.
day.
No, he was gonna do the floors, but then things got in the way of floors like windows. Like he has windows, but no floors. Then he has a huge hole in his wall where there was gonna be a TV. Then he has 4 other holes where there were gonna be speakers. So he has a house that looks like it's about to fall apart. The only thing that looks like it's not falling apart are his windows. And he goes and tries to buy $26,000 windows when he needs about $5,000 to fix the floors.
It's the fucking Swiss cheese house, man. It's got holes all in it.
Then the dude has a really nice fence. A really nice fence. Tears down his fence and puts up a, was it $18,000 fence with like concrete on the bottom.
It would have been like $15,000.
So $15,000 fence.
It's a custom fence.
It's custom.
very
It really
custom.
is custom.
So custom.
It's got concrete on the bottom all around, which I'm telling him when it rains, he's gonna have a swimming pool, a custom swimming pool in his backyard. But now he has a new fence, almost had new windows, still no floors. His walls have holes all over them. The guy is just not good with making financial decisions. Not even financial decisions. I guess hierarchy of decisions. You know, first floors because I don't have them right now. Holes in the walls because there's. The windows are blocking UV light, but the light is coming through the holes in my wall. I just don't get this decision. We got to have an intervention here on this dude.
Yeah, we do.
We got to
Intervene.
get Spin to
I'll
talk
help.
some sense after the show, because Spin knows what he's doing when it comes to money, and CMFK is just pissing his money into the wind.
Either that or we just let him do what he wants to do and we just get him on the show and tell us about all the stupid shit you bought.
I'm
Or we
cool
try
with
to
that.
sell 'em
I'm cool
shit.
with that.
Oh, yeah.
We need to figure out a business plan all just based around selling him shit.
First, we got to fix his credit, and then we just start selling him
Then we
stuff.
find people that will co-sign. He'll co-sign for, and then we just keep the cash.
That works too.
Y'all figure something out because I'm hurting over here.
Yeah, but we're about to get to the grand. This is all just a warm up for the granddaddy. of CMFK things, because CMFK now is trying to get a girl here that lives out of the country. Well,
A very pretty girl.
a super hot girl that I introduced him to. She lives up there in Mexico. Gorgeous girl, right?
Sit down there.
Yeah, down there.
So she's visited down here.
Up here. She's visited up here.
Up there is Canada. Down there is Mexico. Just so you know.
She's visited down here. She's met CMFK. They kind of liked each other. It was a one-time deal. And CMFK just does not know how to talk to this girl and even like nurture the relationship. I'm pretty sure this girl doesn't even remember CMFK anymore because he doesn't call her. He started sending emails, and this is the granddaddy of them all. The email that he sends this girl, I get copied on it to just make sure that it's okay.
I got screwed.
He should have not sent it first and copied me to make sure I could check it for.
I didn't copy you.
Oh, yeah, I got it after the fact. I forgot. I got it after the fact.
It was so bad that Dizzle's wife had to bring it up.
And I don't know if I should have CMFK read this or if we should read it. I think it'd be funnier if he read it because he wrote it. So obviously,
No, Dizzle, you read that. You
Let-
have to read it because I can't read that.
And
shit.
make sure you get the exclamation points and caps right on this.
I can read it.
all right, go ahead, go
Can I
ahead.
read it?
All right, Dan.
All right, here it is. All right. It says, Dizzle's wife! Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. I need help! Exclamation point. Times 4. Please help! Times 2 more. Okay. So I'm really interested in blank. I think about her all the time, and I still don't know too much about her. Below are a few questions I would like to know about her. Do you think this would be good to send her in a message? I really don't know how to initiate this conversation. Let me know. Thanks, CMFK. So here is question.
This is the
number
actual, this is the
one.
actual email that he sends this girl.
Here's the best. Oh, I started cringing up when I read this shit. I'm sorry. It's. I was at work. I probably did a really bad trade after this shit.
So painful.
It is terrible. All right, so we're gonna go around. Dizzle, number 1.
Well, no, we hold on. Before we even go to number 1, this is how he starts off the email. I have some questions for you. You all capitalized with a bunch of exclamation marks. That's how his email starts off to a girl that he's trying to like hook up with. We'll let you go to number 1.
All right, so
Doctor.
here we go. Of all the questions you could ask
This is how you
someone
start off.
of any way, I mean, not a dear, so and so or anything. The, number 1, it says,
Dear.
"What kind of flowers do you love?"
Not even like. What do you love? What kind of flowers?
Oh my gosh!
All right, spin.
All right, number 2, yes. What is your favorite color?
That already is the worst one of all of them. I'm sorry. That's the worst.
That is something you ask a girl in
my
5th
God.
grade Valentine shit.
No, I know with the shoebox and you put
Yeah. This is not an adult asking another adult question. This is not a man asking a woman a question.
Oh my
This is children. Like before you know about sex, before you know about finances, before you know about life, that's what you ask. What is your favorite color? I would have hit delete. I don't know this guy. I don't want to know this guy.
CMFK, what's your favorite color?
I would have
Blue,
to say
baby.
Blue.
Blue.
All right, let me do number 3. How many brothers/sisters do you have? I guess that's a decent question if you kind of place it into a conversation, but this is a list.
A list of questions.
This is a list. This is nothing but a list. It starts off with, I have some questions for you. List. All right, Dr. Dan.
Do you have a phone that I can call you on?
Dude, she's in Mexico,
No,
man.
she has.
What the hell do you think she has?
She has the internet, but no phone.
Yeah, she's got 2 cups and a fucking string. What do you think? She's got a fucking phone, man.
That's kind of insulting of a question. Do you even? Why don't you just ask her? Do you own a phone? That's what you should ask her. Do you own a phone in that country?
What else do you do on a phone anyway? Why do you have to say I can call you on it? No shit.
And the last one is, what is it going to take you to get you back here in the next few months? And even better than that, keep in mind, that was the
fifth question.
That was the 5th question. And then the next thing is, you don't have to answer any of them except for number 1 and number 7. What is up with number 7? Was there a
What
6
happened
and
to
7?
6 and 7?
Yeah, what was question number 7?
Man, I
They
don't
were
even
probably
know.
so dumb he had to delete them.
It was.
No.
It was. I could tell that one was stupid, so I erased it.
It's a classic case of
6 and
butterflies in your
7?
stomach, dude.
Yeah, I erased number 7.
What was it?
Ah, shoot, what was it?
No, you know.
It's probably like, what color is your toothbrush?
Do you wear pajamas when you sleep?
Come on.
I
what-
may actually have the other copy of that.
Are you serious?
Do you enjoy drinking
could.
water?
Burn it.
I may have.
Just speculate. What do you think that question number 7 was?
What do you like to do in your spare time?
See, that could have been one.
know.
That could have been a good question to start off.
That was
with.
better than 5 of these other questions.
We're gonna have to read. We're gonna have to help you with this.
See, I forgot to put it down there.
Yeah.
Why didn't you
And then
just
did you
make
not-
it into like a flowing conversation?
Yeah, did you not proofread it
Because
either?
I wanted to make sure. I don't know how well she knows
Hey,
English.
CMFK is fucking
she's
nervous.
She's Mexican. She's straight from Mexico.
Yeah, but you
That's
hung
where
out with
she-
her for a week and she spoke beautiful English.
Yeah.
So you thought maybe she can't read?
CMFK
Yeah,
is disagreeing.
I don't know. Maybe that was question number 7. Can you read
Can you
this?
read?
Why don't you send her some fucking flashcards?
You should have just sent her flowers
Oh,
instead of asking her what kind
Fizzle.
of flowers you like.
Yeah, you got to speculate on the flowers and just mail them.
I want to say, don't do that right away. If this is your first thing and you're gonna initiate something with a girl,
What kind of windows
Don't
do you
ever
like?
send
That was
flowers.
number 7. Do you like custom windows?